Not all villains stay villains. Some of the greatest heroes were once the most feared. But what makes a villain choose the light? Today, we count down the top 10 villains who turned into heroes. And the moment everything changed. 10 Catwoman, the thief who chose to protect. Gotham has always been a city of masks. Some worn to inspire, others to deceive. And no one wore hers with more grace than Selina Kyle. For years, she danced across rooftops as Catwoman, thief, flirt, an occasional foe of the Dark Knight. But even the best masks crack, and hers shattered in Batman. Hush. In that story, Selina finds herself entangled, not just in a mystery, but in a feeling she's long evaded. Love. Her connection with Bruce Wayne becomes more than a game. And when she nearly loses her life, something shifts. She doesn't just want to survive, she wants to matter. Selina chooses a new path, not as a symbol of fear, but as a quiet guardian. She begins helping people in Gotham's neglected corners. She still walks a morally grey line, but now it's one drawn to protect, not plunder. Catwoman didn't become a hero with a cape or a speech. She did it with a choice. To stop running, and finally stand for something. 9. Emma Frost. From Ice Queen to Guardian. Emma Frost was once a name that struck fear and envy across the mutant world. Draped in diamonds and deceit, she led the Hellfire Club with psychic precision and ruthless ambition. But power, Emma would learn, can also leave you powerless. In New X-Men, after the genocide of Genosha claimed millions, including many of her own students, Emma was left standing in the rubble, not as a queen, but as a survivor. The loss didn't just break her heart, it reshaped it. Haunted by what she couldn't prevent, Emma traded thrones for classrooms. She joined Xavier's school, not as an infiltrator, but as a protector. Her icy exterior remained, but beneath it burned a resolve. Never again would young mutants be lost on her watch. Emma Frost didn't flip a moral switch overnight. Her redemption came through grief, guilt, and the slow work of change. In the ashes of Genosha, the Ice Queen became something far rarer, a mentor forged by failure. 8. The Winter Soldier. Redemption in a bullet. Once, he was a ghost, a myth whispered by spies. The Winter Soldier, an unstoppable assassin with a metal arm and a shattered mind. But long before he was a weapon, he was James Buchanan Barnes, Captain America's best friend. After falling in World War II, Bucky was presumed dead, but the Soviets had other plans. Brainwashed, augmented, and erased, he became Hydra's most efficient killer. For decades, he committed atrocities without memory, without mercy. That changed in Captain America when Steve Rogers discovers the truth and refuses to give up on his friend. With the help of the Tesseract, Steve breaks through the programming, and Bucky begins to remember. His hands are stained with blood he can't wash off. But Bucky doesn't run. He atones. As the Winter Soldier, he was a tool of control. But in reclaiming his name, he becomes something else, a symbol of redemption forged in the fire of memory. 7. Black Adam. From vengeance to sacrifice. He once ruled with an iron fist and lightning in his veins. To the world, Black Adam was a tyrant, a god among mortals who delivered justice with lethal force. But behind that power was a man forged by tragedy. In the pages of 52, Tef Adam finds love. Adriana Tomás brings peace to the warlord, grounding his fury in compassion. But when she and their son are brutally murdered, Adam's wrath ignites once more. Nations fall, bones break, and his legend as a destroyer is cemented. Yet, even in his grief, something lingers. The memory of the man Adriana believed he could be. And when the multiverse is threatened in Dark Crisis, Black Adam doesn't lash out. He stands with Earth's heroes. He sacrifices. He chooses to protect. His redemption isn't clean. It's bloodied, painful, and unfinished. But in that moment, when the world needed a savior, he chose not vengeance, but valor. Sixth Deadpool, a killer's first kind act. For much of his early life, Wade Wilson, Deadpool, was a gun for hire, a chaotic mercenary buried beneath masks, jokes, and brutality. But there came a point when the mask cracked, just enough to show something else underneath. That moment came in Deadpool, Volume 1, number 25, titled Deadpool, Hero at Last. In this issue, Deadpool takes on a mission to save the Earth from an alien messiah that pushes him out of his usual selfish routine and into something resembling heroism. It's not perfect, it's messy, but it marks the first time Wade tries to live up to something more. There's no speech, no applause, just a reluctant mercenary realizing he might be capable of more than killing and wisecracks. It's the earliest seed of redemption, and it would come to define the conflicted anti-hero fans love today. 5. Venom, Eddie Brock, the monster who became a father. For years, Eddie Brock was defined by rage, at Spider-Man, at the world, at himself. When he bonded with an alien symbiote, that rage took form. Venom was born, and for a long time, he was nothing more than a predator. But in Donny Cates' Venom, 2018 run, Eddie discovers something that changes everything. He has a son, Dylan. Suddenly, the monster has something to protect. Someone who sees him not as a beast, but as a father. This revelation doesn't make Venom soft. It makes him stronger. He begins to reject the darkness of the symbiote's origins, even defying the god of symbiotes, Null, to save the Earth. Not for glory, for Dylan. Venom's redemption isn't about absolution, it's about evolution. He's still brutal, still wild, but now he fights with a purpose beyond revenge. He's no longer just a monster, he's a guardian. 4. Doctor Octopus, when a villain became Spider-Man. Dr. Otto Octavius was once the embodiment of unchecked ego, a man so convinced of his own genius, he became one of Spider-Man's greatest threats. Arrogant, bitter, and brilliant, he believed the world needed him in charge, whether it liked it or not. But in Superior Spider-Man, 2013, Otto does the unthinkable. He swaps bodies with a dying Peter Parker, intent on stealing his life. But Peter's memories linger, and with them, a conscience Otto never knew he had. As he experiences Peter's love, loss, and unwavering heroism, Otto is transformed. The villain who once tried to break the world now vows to protect it. He doesn't try to mimic Peter, he tries to surpass him. Otto Octavius becomes the superior Spider-Man, not just in intellect, but in intent. His journey isn't about forgiveness, it's about legacy, and the idea that even the worst of us can carry the best of someone else forward. 3. Magneto, the revolutionary who chose hope. Few figures in comics have walked the razor's edge between villainy and valor like Eric Lehnsherr. A Holocaust survivor turned militant mutant revolutionary, Magneto believed that peace could only be forged through power. For decades, he fought against humanity, not just to defend mutants, but to dominate those who oppressed them. His ideology clashed with Charles Xavier's dream, and the battlefield became their debate stage. But in House of X, Powers of X, 2019, something changes. Xavier and Magneto unite to form Krakoa, a sovereign mutant nation. For the first time, Magneto puts down his sword to help build something lasting. not a kingdom of fear, but a sanctuary of hope. His words, once full of wrath, now carry vision. He doesn't renounce his past, but he refuses to let it define his future. In choosing coexistence, Magneto doesn't abandon his strength, he redirects it. 2. Loki, the trickster who chose truth. Loki, the god of mischief, the eternal liar, the chaos in the shadow of Thor's legacy. For most of his life, Loki played the villain, but in a rare moment of cosmic irony, it was deception that gave him a chance at truth. After Ragnarok, Loki is reborn as a child, a clean slate without the burden of his past crimes. In Journey into Mystery, 2011 to 2012, this kid, Loki, tries to forge a new path. He makes friends. He saves lives. He fights to stop the very darkness he once helped create. But when his older self, the classic trickster, returns to reclaim his soul, Kid Loki makes the ultimate sacrifice. He erases himself to prevent becoming that villain again. It's not a trick. It's not a scheme. It's a choice. Loki's redemption isn't just about changing behavior, it's about rejecting destiny. In choosing oblivion over evil, he proves that even the god of lies can speak the truth. 1. Harley Quinn, breaking free from the clown. For years, Harley Quinn was the Joker's twisted reflection, brilliant, chaotic, and emotionally imprisoned. But over time, she began to tear away from his shadow, not with a single act of rebellion, but with a series of small, powerful choices. In the Harley Quinn Rebirth series by Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti, we see that evolution in motion. By issue number 8, Harley is distancing herself from Joker's madness, forming deeper bonds with Poison Ivy and choosing to protect her Coney Island community. In issue number 36, during the Angry Bird arc, she steps up as a true defender, battling crime, defending the innocent, and showing a fierce loyalty to her people. These aren't acts of a sidekick or a lunatic. They're the decisions of someone rebuilding themselves. Harley Quinn doesn't ask for forgiveness. She fights for her right to be more than a punchline. Redemption isn't a clean path. It's a war of choices, grief, and growth. These characters remind us that change is real, and that even villains can rise, not just from defeat, but from within. From Gotham's shadows to Asgard's throne, redemption echoes across every universe. Which anti-hero story would you like us to uncover next? Subscribe, comment, and stay tuned, because even the darkest hearts can still spark light.